unless you're knocked up. Hi, it's me, Mila Martinico, also known as Mama Mila, and welcome to another episode of At Home with Mama Mila. You're here in my kitchen. It is dusk. I feel like it's very romantical outside. And what is more romantic than cake? Probably a lot of other things. But let me tell you about this cake. Growing up, my Bisnonna and my uncle, Annunziato, used to make all of the desserts for my family's restaurant. And she made this cake. And my mom and I have been talking about this flippin' cake forever. Because when she died, the recipes that she left all were like 1 wine glass of this, 2 handfuls of that. And that lady had bare hands. Like, literally, her hand held 2 cups. Like, that's how long it took me to find out when I did tiramisu, how to figure out her tiramisu recipe. It took us years. So, this is her cake. And we would go, and all of her furniture was covered in plastic, and she literally had saran wrap on her counters, and she would wash the saran wrap and hang it on the line outside and then bring it back in. And I swear that saran wrap was from like 1989, and she just kept reusing it. She was so funny, and she had like this little tiny voice. And she literally talked like that. She'd be like, Maria Lee, what do you do? Like, that's how she talked. She was so cute. And she was like literally 5 foot tall. And with these big old hands. And her face was like wrinkly and smushy. And that is my Bisnonna, Virginia. Christina, Virginia. I don't even know which one's her real name. But she's my Bisnonna. Anyways, we would go see her. We would drive almost 2 hours to go pick up all these cakes. And when we would go, we would bring lamb chops. She would make my nonnu her patate fritte. And she would make this cake. It has taken me, she died when I was 17 and I'm 35. This is how long it's taken me to find her flippin' cake. And the way I found it was that a customer came and brought me a cookbook from the like early 1900s from southern Italy. So this is my Bisnonna's Anisette cake. Here we go, baby. Let's talk about ingredients. Okay, first we're gonna start off. This is 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 cups of sugar, a cup of whole milk. We have a lemon, anisette extract. When we juice this lemon, it should be about 1/3 cup of lemon juice. This anisette, we are going to use a teaspoon. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We are going to use, don't judge me again, a tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to use 3/4 cup of olive oil and 3 eggs. Now, this is not my Bisnonna, but you know, I can't help but zhuzh everything up and make it bougie. So this is something perfect for spring, summer, really anytime. So this is what I'm gonna do a little differently. I've got 2 tablespoons of butter in here that's softened, and I'm gonna swoosh it around in the bundt cake pan, and I'm gonna add sugar to it. And that's gonna create like a crust around it, because I just gotta have that crunchy crunch. And then I cut up, how many strawberries are in the container of strawberries? It's like 2 pints, isn't it? I think. So this is just a container of strawberries that I cut up, and we are gonna flavor these and macerate them with sugar and Aperol, because every Italian hits 4 o'clock and it's time for Aperol spritz, unless you're knocked up. So, anytime that we can add a little Aperol, we're gonna do it. So I think that bitter and that sweet with those strawberries, I think it's gonna hit just right. And to put on that cake, oh yeah, I think we're gonna blow Matt's mind out of the water. Let's get cooking.
I have the 2 tablespoons of softened butter, and we are just going to use a paper towel and spread it all around our pan, and then we're gonna sprinkle it with sugar. Try and get the sugar in all the little cracks and crevices. Now we're ready for our cake. And to our flour, I'm going to add our salt, and then I'm gonna add our baking powder, and then I'm gonna add our sugar. Again, I always say this, but it's this color because it's organic. Choose whatever you want, no judgment. We're gonna whisk these together, and now let's do the wet ingredients. So to a bowl, I'm gonna add our milk, then I'm gonna add our vanilla and our anisette. Then I'm going to add our eggs, one at a time, our olive oil. This looks so beautiful. And then we're gonna squeeze our lemon. I like to roll the lemon first to get all those juices flowing and squeeze it right in there. Now let's mix it up really well. And add it to our dry ingredients. So in my dry ingredients, I like to make a well. The reason why I do this is so when I mix it up, it's easier to not have a bunch of dry ingredients on the bottom. I don't know, that's just me. And we're just gonna fold it in and mix it up. Careful not to overmix. And pour our cake batter into our pan. Let's put our cake into a preheated 350-degree oven, and it's gonna cook for about 50 minutes. You'll notice it's beautiful golden brown, and let me tell you, you're gonna be able to smell it. I wish that there was smell-o-vision yet. I don't know, I feel like that should be a thing now. These strawberries smell so good. Our cake is cool. We're gonna run a knife right around the edges. We are gonna pray to the Lord Jesus Christ. It just pops out. Oh my God, our prayers worked. Dang, all right, never had a prayer answered so fast. Look at our strawberries. Put some powdered sugar. Oh my God, this smells like my Bisnonna's house. If only I had a plastic couch to sit on.
Here we go, friends. Let's see. This is the test. Is it Bisnonna's cake? I want the part that's crispy. Let's take a little bit. This cake's got me all in my feels, man. That's perfect. So, let's try it with the strawberries. Holy Lord Jesus. This is dangerous. I have to tell you a story really fast. I made my own wedding cake. I was 20 years old, and it was like the bust of a woman. I made limoncello cake with fresh strawberries like this, but we put limoncello in it. We like put the fresh strawberries on the cake, and we would do this like where we soaked it like that. And we got drunk as crap off of like the strawberry juice from soaking my wedding cake. And this is what it reminds me of. So it's like bringing back all the feels of like my Bisnonna, of my wedding. But like, get this. So I had an uncle. I got married in February, and in Christmas time, he was drunk and ruined the Christmas parade. Like, he drove in the parade drunk as a skunk and then hit the bank. And so he had an ankle bracelet on at my wedding. And I know this is like the most random story, okay, but this is real life. Like, this stuff only happens to me. And so he had an ankle bracelet on. Well, I didn't think to tell him, like, hey, my cake is soaked in booze, right? So a week goes by, and he comes over and he's like, you need to talk to my parole officer because my ankle bracelet went off. Because like you can't, when you have an ankle bracelet, I guess like you can't even use like hair gel because it has alcohol in it. So I talked to his, I'm on the phone with his parole officer, and she's like, I'm telling her like, listen, okay, like we put a lot of limoncello in there, like we soaked my wedding cake in booze, and I did not think to tell him. And she was like, I understand that, but he ate 3 pieces. And so my uncle had to pay for an extra 6 months of having his ankle bracelet on because his fat butt ate 3 pieces of cake. And so, I don't know, I just felt like I had to share this memory with you because this is what it reminds me of. Just like, it's so like delicious and refreshing and fresh, and my God, that tastes like my nonna's cake. And she also was obsessed with the Lakers. So we would have to watch the Lakers play, which I don't know anything about that. But I just remember eating this cake and watching the Lakers. And she knew no freaking English. But she would yell, Kobe Bryant! Go Kobe! Go Lakers! And when she died, she got buried in the Ark of the Covenant. And we like literally snuck her Lakers hat in there before they put her in the mausoleum. But anyways, all of that to say, thank you for being here with me again. Listening to my chaotic life stories, but most of all, like coming here and just remaking these recipes in a new way with my little twist on them. And yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're here. And most of all, don't forget, I love seeing you at the restaurant. I love being with you. I love when you guys send me questions. I just love you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, okay? Maybe I'll have another chaotic family story. At least this one wasn't very traumatic. See you next time. Tanti baci.